Okay, so very few of you are going to know this, but when I come on to record these videos for you, I never know what I'm going to say, or I rarely know what I'm going to say. Why? Because I flow these videos with God. She said the G word. I did. Now before you all turn off and unplug and disconnect because I'm one of those weird religious people, I'm not. But I am spiritual. And today I knew I was going to talk to you about spirituality. How did I know? Well, because earlier I was being lit up by the idea of what is spiritual? What does it mean to be spiritual? And I was finding great amusement in the fact that what people think spirituality is not really what it is. I'm trouble. Why? Because I like to skew you. I like to put you on the back foot. I like to discombobulate you a little bit. Because then when you are what's going on, that's when you can feel the flow of change that I bring. That's where you can welcome the change, especially if I do it with a little bit of humour. So let's talk spirituality. I said the G word. Spirituality is about God. Is God found in a church? Maybe. Is God found in the pub? Maybe. God's found in the pub? Absolutely. Do you know where else God is? When you're having a beer. When you're having a takeaway. When you're shouting at your neighbour down the street. When you're driving in your car. When you're having sex. God is wherever you are. Because God is you. Not holy. There's more to God than you. Because God is each one of every one of us. God is in everything. Everything that's nature. Everything that's man-made. Why? Because you hold an energy of God. So whatever you create, a whisper of Him flows through that. So that is why God is there when you're having a beer. Or when you're having sex. That's right. You can be being divinely spiritual when you're having sex. How do you get to be divinely spiritual? Well, that's all about you being all of you. And this happens to be my zone of genius. There are lots of things that are my zone of genius. One of them is true experience. True experience, divine experience, happens when you're experiencing something from all that you are. You're experiencing it from divine unity of you. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that divine unity of you is a recognition, an energetic recognition of all that you are, why you came here in the first place, to have this physical experience, and all that you can be, as you embrace the fact that you are this powerful creator, trained as you have been, with all the gifts and capabilities that you have that's unique to you, focused and funneled to what you want to create. Boom, there comes the magic. Because only you can create in the way that you want to create. So that means that if you want what I want, you're going to create it in a totally different way to how I would. It's going to feel different to you than how it would feel for me. So when you experience in divine unity of you, you experience just that little bit more. You experience heightened joy, heightened love, heightened hope. You experienced heightened energetic experience. That's what divine experience is. And you only get it if you're in divine unity of you. Now let's talk connection. Ooh, this is my bag. Connection is one of the reasons that I'm here. Uniting. Uniting who? All of us. All humans. All that is. Because we are connected. Because we all have that flow of God. We all have that flow of love. We all have that flow of light. There are so many similarities, and our similarities are only matched by our differences. Same but different. So one person who thinks that they're being spiritual by helping an old lady across the road can be far from spiritual if that is not what is lighting them up. Another person who's helping an old lady across the road can be definitely spiritual. But that same person could be just as spiritual if they're shouting at someone down the road. Why? Because it's not what you do, but how you do it. Are you doing it from all of you? Or are you doing it from a bit of you that's shrunk down, from the shoulds, from the rules? Now, I'm not saying it's ever nice to push an old lady over. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, what you do defines whether you are being spiritual, because you are spiritual in your greatest sense. If you want divine connection, the greatest connection you can have, let's talk about it from physical human to physical human. So those people in your world that you love, you want divine connection with them, you need to show up as all of you, and so do they. Now, showing up as all of you has become a term that we go, yeah, I'm going to show up as all of me. I want to put to bed the idea that there's a best version of you. There isn't. It's poppycock. There are no versions of you. You are you. But what you can do is water yourself down. What you can do is limit how much of you are allowing yourself to experience with and connect with. And we do that sometimes through fear, sometimes because we're scared of rejection, we're scared of judgment, we're scared of breaking the rules, rocking the boat. Do you know what I want to do today? I don't want to give money to charity. Well, then you shouldn't be. And there's going to be a higher reason for that. Maybe you're saving your money because the charity you're just about to give to is about to go bust, and that money can be better served somewhere else. Maybe not. But there's always a higher reason. Why? Because you're built of love. So if you are behaving and acting and moving and being from all of you, from divine unity of you, you can be sure that you are leading with love. And therefore you are leading with God. And therefore you are leading with spirituality. So I talk about this a lot in my movement classes. It's never what you do, but the way in which you do it. Are you living your life from all of you? Are you experiencing those high energies? Are you full of joy? Are you full of fun? Are you loving being at work because you're getting a kick out of that spreadsheet or putting your accounts in or whatever it's doing, those things that, gosh, she's a bit of a geek, isn't it? I love doing my tax return. Do I tell people that? Now I do, but there was a time where I'd be like, God, I think I'm a right weirdo. I think I'm a right geek. I love doing my tax return. So when I'm doing my tax return, I'm full of joy. I'm full of fun. I'm full of me. So I'm being spiritual. Do I have fun sitting in the sun and having a beer? Absolutely. At times. Other times, there are no times I don't do anything that's not me now. But there were times in my life where I would go and have a beer because that's what you do to have fun. That's what the cool people do. That's what I want to be seen doing. I must be fun if I'm sitting in the sun and having a beer. But if you're sitting in the sun and having a beer and inside you're going, God, I really just wish I was at home doing my tax return. Oh, I should be doing my tax return. It's making me feel icky that I haven't done it. I really want to do that, but I don't want everyone to know that I'm not going to the pub because I want to do my tax return, because that makes me a weirdo. Guess what? You're not being all of you, so you're not being divinely spiritual. You will find spirituality in every part of your life. Why? Because you are physical human. And because you came here to love living your life. Do you love what you're doing at the moment? Here I am. Feel this spirituality coming at you through this video. Why? Because this is all of me. This is me flowing at you with everything that I am. With all that I want. And therefore everything that I can be. And again, I come back to, everything I can be doesn't mean I'm not being all of me now. In this moment, I'm being all of me, but that I accept I am a powerful creator of change. I welcome the change so that I know that at the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment, if I want to experience and divinely experience, and I want to connect and divinely connect in those moments, I have to be accepting that I'm changing from one moment to the next, to the next. Why? Because as a physical human, I've just experienced a bit more. I've experienced doing this video now. So after this video, I'm going to be a different physical human. I've taken more breaths, I've had more blinks of my eyes. These are things that we take for granted, but how incredible is your body? Those automated breaths, those blinks to keep your eyeballs moistened so that you can see. These are incredible things that you create moment by moment that we skip over. Why? Because they're automated, because they're expected. They're not divinely spiritual. Of course they are. When you accept the incredible uniqueness that you have, when you accept just how blinking magnificent you are, you start to step into divine spirituality. Think of that friend that you think, God, they're just immense. I love being around them. I feel so good around them. I wish I was a bit like them. You're stepping away from yourself. What you're noticing is a pull to them, because that's them showing you all of them. What do they deserve? What do they want? What are they craving and asking from you? For you to be all of you. Easier said than done, right? I know, I can feel you. Some of you are going, all right, so you want me to be all of you. Now just tell me how. Okay. It's going to feel good. That's how you know. Do you want to do that work? Do you want to do that tax return? Do you want to have that beer? Do you want to shout at your partner? You know, because it feels good. When you are rolling from all of you, when you are acting from all of you, when you are existing from divine unity of you, it will only, ever and always feel good. And you go, okay, maybe I'm not sure what feels good feels like. Maybe that's something that has been infiltrated and doctored over my life. Many people it has been. I know what feels good. When I go and have a beer and sit in the sun, that feels good. Are you telling yourself? Are you thinking it feels good? Or are you feeling it feels good? If you're not sure, I have a solution. What's my solution? Come to one of my sessions. Come to a divine play and a divine dance session. Let these superpower energies that I play with lead you to what feels good. Heck, they're going to lead you to what feels great divinely. You are going to know what feels good, and you're going to be able to replicate it. Do you know what's even better about my sessions? As I draw you closer to divine unity of you, as I light up the path to get there, it continually calls you. It calls to your soul. It's like a return to home. It's like a whiff, a smell, a sense of something that you have known before and that you know feels good. And so once you've tasted it, once I've lit that path to it, it beckons you. In those moments of, God, I don't know if I want to do that, it's beckoning you. It's going, hey, come over here. It feels good over here. So I am here to bring you to spirituality. I want you to forget the rules. I want you to break the rules. The rules that say you're spiritual if you put others before yourself. You're a spiritual person if you give your money to charity. You're a spiritual person if all you look for when you live your life is, how can I be of service to others? They sound nice. That sounds like someone I want in my life. Nope, not me. Do I skew you? Do I wobble you? You don't want that person in your life? Not unless that person is all of them. If those acts happen from all of them, I want that person. But my definition of the people I want in my life, living from divine unity of you. And guess what? It's not any good for me. It's good for you. When you live in divine unity of you, you're going to divinely love your living. What's divine love? It's top of the pile love. It's the kind of love that doesn't get any bigger. You know, when you love a chocolate bar and you're like, oh, that was good. Or you love a beer and you're like, oh, that tasted really good. And then you have the same beer sitting in the sun. You go, God, that beer tastes even better. Or you have the same beer at 5 o'clock on holiday when you've been lying in the sun all day and you're like, oh, that beer tastes even better. Or you have a beer after a day's work where you've worked really hard and maybe you've got really hot and you've been digging in the garden and you go, God, why does that beer taste even better? Those are graduations of love. Divine love is always the best tasting beer. That's what I want for you for the whole of your life. The best tasting beer. The people who light you up the most. The life that you love living. So come. Find spirituality by finding divine unity of you. I can't wait to show the world how easy this can be. Let's get on with living our life, people. That's why we're here. And I've got to mention him again. Many of you don't know that when I do these videos, I don't know what I'm going to say. I feel an impetus. I feel an urge. I feel a need to say something. I get a whisper of the topic. Where does it come from? It comes from God. It comes from me plugging into spirituality. It comes from me plugging into divine unity of you. I hear him. I sense what needs to be said. And he takes me there. And this isn't woo-woo, religious craziness. This is me being all of me. Why? Because he exists as a part of me, just like he does as a part of you. So get comfortable, people. Get comfortable being close to God. And get comfortable being in divine unity of you. Thanks for listening. See you soon.